first style that is basically described by Dan Goldman is coercive. And it's fundamentally negative because the coercive style of leadership is the command and control. It's the bully type. Again, you do not need to bully people or use command and control. If you are effective in being able to communicate, your sense of trust and authenticity will not really demand that you force people what to do. And the question often comes up, well, does threat work? Well, the answer is yes. Threat will work, but only on a temporary basis. You have to keep upping that threat. So let's eliminate the coercive style of leadership from the get-go. That if you are coercive, put it in the closet. Don't use it. The second and most important leadership style is what Dan calls the authoritative style or the visionary style. It's not authoritarian, but it's being able to stand there as a leader and inspire trust. Secure-based leaders who are able to create this visionary, authoritative approach lead people because they want to be followed, people who see the leader as competent and someone who cares about them. They will follow them. And so you can give orders, you can give directives from this style because of the bond that exists. This is the problem with the coercive. It is coercive because it lacks bonding. And even the military, which is for many people counterintuitive, trains in authoritative, not authoritarian, visionary style of leadership in which you want those soldiers who you may have to order into battle to be there with you, to trust you, to follow you because they want to follow you. You don't have to coerce them. You are to team with a leader who is using that visionary and authoritative style. That's the strongest and most positive style. Then you have the affiliative style. This is the leader who focuses on getting people to like them. Now, it's good when people like you, but if you are, let's say, addicted or obsessed with people liking you, you're going to easily be a hostage when they are sensitive to criticism or when they feel rejected. And so you have to not be overly concerned about people liking you. The affiliative style is good, but it has its limits because you have to dare people, you have to give tough feedback, and you have to rely on that authoritative visionary style if you are too affiliative. So let's put affiliative in the box of positive, but with certain limits. And then comes the democratic style. This is also very good, in which you seek consensus. You want to get everybody participating. Now, in the modern world, it sometimes takes too long to get everybody engaged in their opinion. So teams or leaders who are trustable and teams that trust each other allow for people to make decisions and not everybody has to be consulted. In teams that are insecure, some people feel rejected when they're not consulted. But if your leader is trustable, you allow them to make decisions and you go along with them. So the democratic style, again, let's put in the positive category, but it has limits, and especially around getting things to move faster. What we find in organizations that are too bureaucratic, everybody wants to be involved in that decision. That's just not a good idea. How do you streamline the culture to make decisions on a speedier, simplistic way? And then comes the pace-setting style, which is fundamentally negative. Dan describes the fundamental pace setter as negative because the pace setter from that negative perspective is giving too long of stretch goals without empathy and compassion. So there's a second type of pace setter. It's the pace setter who has enough compassion, enough empathy, enough caring that people feel you are with them. So stretch goals, being a pace setter from a positive perspective is strong.